So we are here with Wilson Ferreira Jr. He's the CEO at Eletrobras. Thank you so much for having the time to talk to us, Wilson. And my first question is about the odds of this huge privatization that you guys are planning. So what are the real chances that it happens this year as you've already planned?
Well, I think that we have a big chances to have this privatization, especially because we have enough time to do that. We are, in this moment, using this semester to prepare the company for some issues, some requirements based on the project of law, which is, first one is the split of two operations we have. One is electronuclear, a nuclear power plant we have, and the second one is Itaipu, our binational hydroelectric power plant. So this is a requirement established in the project of law. So we have this first semester, I would say, to have this split, the proposal to split of that. More than that, we are creating a corporation. So, and this makes a lot of sense for the future of the company, for the future of a big player, a Brazilian big player, an international one. So to do that, we have also to improve our bylaws to incorporate some requests like a golden share, like the limits of votes to have a possibility to have a board with representatives from the shareholders. So we will allow to have a block of up to 10%, and they will compose to elect one board member. And this we have to reflect in our bylaws, in our regulations we have in the companies. So this is the second thing. The third one is also to create or to prepare what is will be the equity story of this transaction. So in this, it depends of the second project of law, which is regarding with a lot of improvements in our regulatory framework. One of them is regarding with this, what we call decotization. It will be the proper equity story of Eletrobras. The possibility we have to receive new grants of concession to operate our 14 hydroelectric power plants, not more in a quotas regime, but in an independent power producer regime. So I would say those
with more
things,
real tariffs,
yeah.
That's the thing,
yeah.
real prices, right?
And also protecting, taking the responsibility of the hydrological risk, which is today is passing through, we are passing through to the consumer. That's why we increase a lot of tariffs. So it will be good for the consumers because you have I would say, a stop loss in terms of the increase of tariff. And for the company, it will be a chance to operate with profitability. Because today, considering the prices or the costs we have allowed from the regulator, we have losses. Our costs are bigger than the regulatory costs established by the regulator. So I would say, considering the question you did, we have a proper time. One semester to prepare the company, to prepare those three things. And in the second semester, we will hire a syndicate of banks to follow a common transaction of increase of capital. It will be a huge one of the biggest of the year. So we are going to access international investors. We have at Eletrobras 24,000 investors. The majority of the institutions are our shareholders, but also physical people. So I understand in the second semester, I have two windows, one with the data of the second quarter up to after August 15, and with the data of the third quarter after 15 November. So I think it's a proper time. I'm not in a hurry considering this schedule.
It seems to be a lot of work, though.
Yes, but since we come to the company, we have this kind of agenda.
What would be the size of this capital increase? You just mentioned that it's going to be huge.
It will be, if you consider the numbers that the government puts on the budget, it should be something around $3 to $4 billion in reais to 12 billion reais.
Okay.
This will be the price, or they will charge us to have the right to operate those 14 hydroelectric power plants over 30 years as an independent power producer.
I can see some hurdles in this way, though. We can see that the Congress, there is a lot of opposition in the Congress, for example. Some data polls just show that most Brazilians are not agreeing with privatizing companies in Brazil. There's also an issue with how you're going to manage the model of the privatization, and all that in a year we're going to have presidential elections. So how do you see those hurdles, and what are you going to do to overcome them?
Well, first of all, I think it's important. The privatization was an issue in a recent past. We already did one privatization of one disco, and we are doing another 6 over the next 3 months. So this word privatization is not is not something that causes some afraid in the people right now. The problem is we have a lot of interest on this privatization, interest against the privatization. Unions, for instance, as you follow during the conference, we are doing a big job to reduce our workforce. So the unions are against. Also, you have the size of the company in geographical terms is huge. We are in the north, in the south, in the southwest, in the northeast. So you also have some politicians that have influence on the company, which is natural. Usually, as a controlling shareholder, they also recommend some administrators, some board members, some directors, and that kind of influence is gonna change a lot if you create a corporation with no influence of those stakeholders, let's see, like this. But also we have to, we send the government sent the project of law 2 weeks ago. So after that, we are preparing a proper communication to clarify what is the benefit of this proposal, not only for the consumers, for the good employees that we understand have interest to have the best career they can have in a company when you set goals, when you allow you to increase your remuneration, for instance, with bonus and things like that, which is some practice that you have in the private sector and you don't have in the public sector. So there's a lot of incentives to be clarified for the consumers, for the employees, and even for the citizens. As I said, I'm not afraid regarding with the privatization word, but you have to show them that those advantages, because I can assure you that this is the best way for the company, this is the best way for the country, should be for the citizens